welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. If you are one of my returning subscribers, I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here and for your friendship. A special thank you to everyone who has reached out to me on Etsy and on Instagram. I'm just so happy to be able to get the chance to get to know some of you better on a very even personal scale. Some of you I've gotten to know very well. So thank you so much for your confidence in me and for your friendship. You guys don't understand the effect and the impact that you have on my life. So thank you so much for being here with me. And if you have found yourself here for the very first time, I would like to welcome you to this space. I do pick a card readings on this channel. So if you're into tarot, please join us and pull up a chair and grab yourself some snacks and get cozy, because we are all friends when we gather at my table. So today's pick a card reading, we're looking at the question, does the person on your mind ever think about you too? Is it one-sided? Do they think about you as well? And what do they wish that they could say to you at this time? So we have 3 piles for you to choose from. We have this pile, I believe it's called the Angel Tarot with the pink rose. Pile number 2 with the Herb Crafters Tarot, and this light pink, I don't know if it's supposed to be a carnation, I'm not sure what it is. And pile number 3 with the traditional Rider-Waite and the large poppy. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting for you today from Spirit, and my timestamps are listed below. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, today we're looking at the question, does the person on your mind ever think about you? And what do they wish they could say to you right now? Pile number 1. Hello everybody. In pile number 1, you were drawn to the beautiful pink rose. Or to the Angel Tarot, and this is your reading. Does the person on your mind ever think about you? Do they ever think about you too, or is this a one-sided type of energy? And once we get that answer, we're going to switch gears and ask, what do they wish that they could say to you right now? And we'll end your pile with a charm cast, as always, with our teeny tiny tarot and my charms. But let's get started with, do they ever think about you? Pile 1. If these messages do not resonate with you, I am dealing with collective energy, so I cannot possibly, connect with every energy specifically, but you may try a different pile or maybe a different reading if it doesn't resonate. We have here the 9 of Cups. Do they ever think about pile 1, please? We have here the 2 of Swords reversed. I feel like they think it's one-sided on their end. We have the World. They are really worried about it being one-sided. Because I think that they can't possibly imagine that you feel the same way as they do. The Star energy. Because if we're looking at their thoughts of you right now, you are way out of their league for some reason. We have the Temperance card. Back of the deck, we have the Moon card. There's a lot of major arcanic themes already being presented for you in this spread. So I feel like you feel very connected to this person. And I think that they feel the exact same way. I think they feel very connected, but they're not certain that you feel the same way about them. In the World here, there's unfinished business and this a desire for closure here as well. I do feel like this person reflects upon you quite a bit, and I think that this may be a pretty long-standing no contact situation perhaps, because you've had to apply a lot of patience with this Temperance energy, and there seems to be a lot of awareness that has happened over time in this connection. But let's clarify this row before we continue. Do they think about pile 1? The Knight of Wands. The 9 of Cups with the 9 of Wands as a support it's straight out of the gate, you know, we could have answered your question. If it was a yes/no reading, we could say, yes, of course they think about you, because this Nine of Cups talks about all of the thought that they keep stacking up. And they have nothing to do but stack it up, because they feel like they have an inability to move forward here. The Two of Swords can talk about their position in life in general. They have an inability to commit. And it's sort of bleeding into some of the thoughts that they have about you are very, very fiery, I have to say. Very, very fiery. This person could be an air sign. They could be an Aquarius, perhaps a Libra with this King of Swords energy. We have the Three of Swords. And we also, I'm looking at the Sun, the Seven of Wands, the Ten of Swords too. So these are very strong energies that do hold a lot of weight. I'm not going to keep them, but I just want to address them for a moment, because I feel like their thoughts of you run into a very sort of low area, especially permanent, like right this moment, in this present moment, we have this Three of Swords supporting the world. So they really feel like they lost potential here. They have a closure issue. Like they're still in pain, even if it doesn't seem apparent on the outside of things. They're still in pain, because it's like the epiphany came in when it was too late about what they should have done, or how they should have reacted, or what they could have had in this connection. But that awareness didn't come until much later. And now we're sort of, not only do they think about you, but the thought about you is very intense. The Ten of Swords. And you may find that you are experiencing similar energies towards them. This person thinks about missed opportunities in achieving even a physical union with you, which they still think about, and they still, I feel like, hope for. And I feel like they even apply that to the unfinished business category. It's like, we should have done that. We should have moved this connection into something more physical. This Ten of Swords is talking about the devastation of the thoughts that they have, the emotional distraughtness that it creates for them, and the challenge that this connection still creates in their experience. So yes, group one, they do think about you. What are their thoughts, please? Loss. They wish that they could be a part of your world. And you seem out of reach too. It's like they could keep tabs on you even. It's like you seem out of reach. So I don't know if you live very far from this person as well. And we have the Fool. Back of the deck is the King of Cups. My goodness, they do think about you so much. And here, coming up the rear with this Knight of Cups energy, with that extra cup that we're waiting for from the 9, is this Knight of Cups. I do feel like this person thinks about all of the missed chances. And I think that they were feeling, it's like they had blinders on. Again, those epiphanies about how much they cared didn't come in till much later. But there's this sense of having blinders on then, and how they wouldn't make that same mistake again. They would not make that same mistake again. They're saying, I would leap with you, even if I have nothing to offer, even if I, it feels like a risk to me to leap. It's like, I would do that, because that awareness has come in. They've had those epiphanies, and they really attach a very strong energy to the connection itself. Now, I will say this just in passing for whoever's watching. It may not resonate with everyone, of course, but there may be current situations in your life or in this person's life now that make a reunion difficult. And these positions could be marriages, it could be people, because look at all of this. Look at all of this. The Emperor, the Chariot, the Hierophant, the Tower, there's the Lovers. So there are a lot of complications now. But let's take a look at what do they wish that they could say to you. So I'm going to sort of switch gears here a little bit and see what do they wish that they could say to pile number 1. What do they wish that they could say to pile 1, please? They want to tell you everything that they've had the epiphanies about when it comes to your connection. And they want clarity too. Like, as much as we're asking, you know, do they think about you? They want to know the same thing. Do you think about me? Is this a mutual thing? I want to tell you my truth, and I want your truth as well. But you can even see with this Ace of Swords, there's this crown over top of it, because there is something, a pride, ego, position that might complicate matters. What do they wish they could say to you? Nine of Swords, reversed. They wish that they could say to you that they want a new hope to be ushered in. They want to make a new plan with you. This Nine of Swords reverse is talking about liberating myself from this anxiety. It's like, I want to make sure, I want the self-assurance that you actually feel the same way about me that I feel about you. Because I want to know if the risk would be worth the reward if I stepped outside of my comfort zone. And you've always made me feel intimidated. I've always felt insecure when it comes to you. Not because I feel like you're an insecure type of... It's not like you exude someone who is intimidating, but because this person holds so much... Your energy holds so much weight for them. Yep, because you're the Empress. There it is. They wish that they could tell you that I know who you are to me now. It took me some time to figure it out, but now I know who you are. And you deserve every good thing. There almost seems to be a connection here to childhood in some way, so take that as it resonates to your situation. What do they wish that they could say? We have here the Hermit, that I think about you all the time. But I have so many things going on right now. There's a Seven of Pentacles reversed. I have so many things going on right now, so many responsibilities that I may not be able to execute that desire or this epiphany or this knowledge or this truth towards you because of this position that I hold, because of everything that I've worked hard to build up. The Seven of Coins reverse can also refer to someone who gives up a little bit too soon. It's like, I gave up way too soon in the past. Oops. We also have, a bit of an explosion, but we also have the Eight of Wands with the Judgment card. They would say to you too, they wish that they could tell you how much they think about you. And I feel like it makes them feel insecure to let you know how rampant the thought about you actually is. They wish that they could, if you live far from this person, I feel like somebody does live very far from this person. They wish that they could travel to you right now. It's like, I wish that I could charge into your life right this moment and speak my truth and have this emotional fulfillment with you. They may feel like they're stuck in a karmic cycle that does not allow them to have this emotional happiness. They may feel like they are sacrificing their own happiness for the satisfaction and the comfort of other people. They want to say to you that that you could have had it all together, and they see that now, that they wish that they had ascended with you. And if they have ascended with someone else, they see the error of their ways now. But it took them time to see that, because they thought that what they were building would be emotionally fulfilling, but I feel like they fell short of that. The World. And they want to tell you that they have unfinished business and they wish for closure. And they use a word like closure. Here's the Six of Wands reversed with the Tower. They use a word like closure, but it wouldn't be closure. And I say that a lot on my channel, I know, but people often say, and sometimes when they come to me for readings, they'll say, you know, when is this person going to bring me closure? Are they going to come forward and bring me closure? And Spirit usually comes up over the top and says, unfortunately, if this person comes forward, they may or they may not, but if they did come forward, it would not result in closure because there's too much intensity. It's not like we're trying to wrap things up. This person has unfinished business with you. It's like they would rile everything up. We do have the Six of Wands in the reverse position. It's really a lack of confidence, and they feel like a failure. They wish that they could tell you that, is that in this connection, they feel like they have failed it so much. And they have to act like it doesn't bother them. This Tower is representing many things here. It's representing the very thing that could be stopping the ascension. It could be representing a foundation that may crumble, and the fear of that crumbling, the permanent change and the chaos that that creates that they're trying to avoid. It's also speaking about the epiphany that they've had about you, and the thought processes like bolts of lightning. It didn't all come in at once, all of this awareness about their feelings for you. This came in stages. This Three of Wands, it's like I let this slip through my fingers, and that hurt when that happened. They felt like so unhappy about that situation and about that awareness that came in. What do they wish that they could say? Think before you act. And that's what they have to do now, but that's what they wish they hadn't done in the past. It's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic because now there is someone else, they say. But ultimately, I just want you to love me despite what everything, despite appearances, despite positions. My greatest wish is that I feel like the Nine of Cups we saw. I meant what I said. And if I were to come towards you, there's this feeling with this Five of Swords energy, like it's going to create chaos for me. And they add you into the mix. They're like, it might create chaos for you too. But ultimately, they are still just, they're reeling about their own consequences right now. Whoops. On the floor, we have, I'm too afraid to talk to you. And the back of the deck says, let me hold you. And this really reminds me of the Seven of Swords. It makes me feel sneaky. It makes me feel suppressed, like I have to hide that fact. What do they wish that they could say to pile number 1, please? Actions speak loudly. Express your love through actions, and they wish that they could. They know that talk is cheap. They know that actions, the proof is in the pudding. They know that. And they also, but they're trying to think before they act. So they're worried about what your impression is of their lack of action towards you. And they don't want that to taint your opinion of them or your expectation of how they feel. Relationship patterns, it takes strength to recognize the need for change. And that's what they wish that they could say, is that they are too afraid to break free of those binds yet. They're too afraid to watch these towers fall. They're too afraid to face their own, shadow work in order to ascend here. And it took them time to realize what they had lost with you. Back of the deck says, rest and relaxation is essential. We all have fundamental need to take a break. And you are like this safe space, I feel, for this person when they think about when they're stressed out, when they're overwhelmed with responsibilities. You are what they run to. You are like home, I feel like, to them. Let's get a couple of these little message cards. What do they wish that they could say at right this moment? 2, pile 1. Did you ever feel the same way about me? And we have friends with benefits. I don't know if this was the dynamic perhaps for someone watching in the past, a friends with benefits situation that should have evolved, or that they wanted to evolve, or perhaps too afraid. This could be what they fantasize about right now as well, because they say that they're stuck in a complicated situation. What do they wish that they could say? You are my happy place, the thing that they escaped to. I miss you. I think about that last day a lot, going over and over in their minds. Back of the deck says, are you in love right now? They get jealous when they think about you. They don't like, I feel like, are stuck in some type of position, or they say that they're stuck in a complicated situation, and they wonder what your scenario is at this moment. What do they wish that they could say to pile number 1? Cupid's arrow, having faith, love is coming, surprise invitation or meeting, and hesitation. They want to say to you that they don't want you to give up hope. They want you to know that they want to come towards you, but that they have a lack of confidence at this time. They don't want you to give up on this. And they want you to understand that the feelings are very, if you feel this way at all, they hope that the feelings are mutual, but if you feel this way at all, they definitely feel mutual feelings. And you know, with Cupid's arrow, it's like we don't have a choice when Cupid hits us with that arrow. It's like I didn't have a choice to loving you this way. It just happened. And we have passion, insane chemistry, liking each other equally, and having fun. Back of the deck says hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, and working on it, working on their responsibilities, perhaps stuck in a complicated situation that is very karmic in nature. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 1. A charm bowl, please. What is the future of this connection in the bowl? Do we see movement in the future of this connection for pile number 1? We have the 7 of Cups. I just missed the bowl. And we have the 4 of Cups reversed. We have the Judgment card. And this, I feel like I try to place them the way that they fall. The 7 of Cups is sort of sideways. It's talking about the confusion that exists because you don't know if it's one-sided for you. They don't know if it's one-sided for them. And that's sort of like the two of you standing and staring at each other, waiting for the other person to act. Because what this confusion, what Spirit wants to see, instead of confusion, they want us to see opportunity and options to us. The Judgment card is calling for us to reflect upon our position, upon the past, upon what we can do to heal or change any energy that's leading us to a state of apathy that makes us feel like there is no hope in the situation. Because we do see movement possible with this person, not for everyone, unfortunately, because I'm dealing with collective energy and because we are dealing with this stagnation right now, and there's action required. But we also see in the future position the 4 of Cups reversed, which is showcasing a new outlook coming in, new hope to the situation. So it's not beyond the realm of movement, but we don't see positive actual movement yet. We have V and R. These could be initials. We have the 4-leaf clover for good luck. We also have the gecko, which is my sign for masculine energy. We have a dragonfly, a symbol of transformation and being really hungry for that transformation. I choose strength, Leo energy. But the strength, I feel like that message is really important because that's what we require when we are detaching ourselves from really complicated situations. It's hard. There's a lot of sacrifice involved. There's a lot of pain involved. It's a hard road to hoe. So strength is definitely required to push that chariot in that directive. We have here the key with the wings. And we also have a cupcake, somebody who wants their cake and eat it too. I think of the King of Pentacles when I see the cupcake. We also have, looking at things from a higher perspective with this wing, Aquarius energy, a leaf of change. We have the black starfish. When I see the black starfish, I think about someone who could be still reeling and healing from a physical death of someone. So please take that as it resonates. And if you are, my compassion goes out to you, of course. We also have the horse, which is a chariot energy and movement, decisions within that chariot, choices to be made. All right, group number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. I wish you so much luck in this connection. If this did resonate with you, I hope that you will drop me a comment below and hit your notification bell. And if you do, be sure to hit that notification bell so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. I also offer chances to win free readings on a monthly basis on Instagram, and I offer private readings through my Etsy account, which is listed below. But I hope that you come back here for another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello everybody, in pile number 2, you were drawn to this big beautiful pink flower, or perhaps to the Herb Crafter's Tarot here, and this is your reading. Does the person on your mind think about you, or is it one-sided, and what do they wish that they could say to you? So do they think about you, pile 2? And then we will look at the question, what are some of the things that they wish that they could say to you before we do your charm bowl and charm cast at the end. So let's, oops, do they think about pile number 2? What are some of those thoughts? We'll look at what they wish they could tell you. Ooh, okay. I just saw the Emperor, but I'm going to put him back because he fell out in a very awkward way. So do they ever think about you, pile 2? floor day today. We are starting with the Two of Wands and the King of Wands. Do they ever think about how to please? The Ten of Swords. They do, and I think it's a painful sort of realization because there's like a urgency that's burning. They never executed a plan towards you, or they made poor choices towards you, but either way, the passion that they feel towards you has done nothing but sort of increase with intensity here. I think that they've tried to sort of dull down that passion, that intensity that they feel towards you by trying their best to cut you out. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's not I don't mean it in necessarily a negative way, but it's like they thought that they could forget you by moving into other situations or showcasing confidence. And I think they're having a hard time healing from it. Like they're in the process of trying to do that right now because I feel like it's become too much. Here we have the Fool. Back of the deck is the Three of Wands. And the Fool energy is really coming in for me strongly as almost a literal energy, because that's why they're stuck in this mindset right now, because it makes them feel foolish to think that it could be one-sided. And I mean, we're going from like 0 to 180 when we go from the Two of Wands to the King of Wands, because one is about the desire for expansion, but it lacks the planning phase, and this King of Wands is raring to go. He's chomping on the bit. He's ready. So this Ten of Swords, the alfalfa, particularly in this deck, talks about clear cutting, because alfalfa is grown in fallow land to replenish the soil. So they may have, attempted to plant new seeds with other people, as I said, but they're sort of in the process of trying to heal and release their expectations, because they feel like this connection and the thought that they have of you is sometimes detrimental to them. The Nine of Pentacles. And I think it's interesting. I think it feels like a long time that they've been waiting. I'm just looking at all of these apple slices lined up here. It just feels like they feel like they've been waiting for a long time. It's like they're using a chalk to mark on the wall how many years has gone by since they've seen you. And the apples that in of themselves, it's like the desire that they felt for you is starting to multiply, because all of these apples are sliced into little thin slices. So it's wearing thin. The intensity of their thought for you is wearing thin. We have here the King of Cups. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. And I almost feel kind of sad, because all of this passion is actually hiding the truth of the depth of the emotion. And there is this sense of like, again, they feel sort of foolish. Do you know what it feels like? And this may not resonate with you. It's not for everyone, but this is for someone. It feels like, because it doesn't feel like everyone who's watching had a physical connection with this person. It feels like they think it's foolish that they feel this way because there was no physical contact. Like, if it's like, why do I feel so intense about this person when we never even, ended up in a relationship, a physical relationship? It's like, why am I feeling so intense? And it's ridiculous of me to feel that intensity, but the feeling is there with the King of Cups. They may try to suppress it, they may try to heal from it, but it's there. So yes, they think about you. And I will say this, that even the process of them trying to detach themselves and heal and move forward is hard for them. They know that they should move forward, or they tell themselves that. There's a tiny little butterfly in this card. I don't even know if you can make it out, if it'll do justice, but there's a tiny little butterfly, and it's because they don't want to let go of that tiny little glimmer of hope that there could be a place, there could be a time for us. Their position now, they feel like they need to evolve, or that enough time has gone by that they should have been able to move forward. And I will say this new opportunity that they're looking for, this new start, this Ace of Pentacles, has the nettle featured. And the nettle, if you've ever experienced it, it's a great medicinal plant. It's been used for generations, but it stings if you handle it. And so there's this sense of the ending hurting, the new beginning stinging, because it's like they don't want to give up if there's a glimmer of hope here. Queen of Pentacles. For some of you, this person doesn't have hope, or they're feeling like they need to move forward so much because of your position. We have the High Priestess. Back of the deck is the Nine of Wands and the Queen of Wands. And there's the Knight of Cups. We have the King and Queen of Wands here, which is a very sort of divine feminine, divine masculine energy. And this Knight of Wands on the back of deck is telling me that they're still holding on. They're in the process of trying so hard to convince themselves to move forward and to heal themselves, but it hurts right now. So they are definitely thinking about you. So if you are feeling any of these intensities, it is not one-sided. They do feel like they think that you hold your feelings inside as well, especially if you're the divine feminine here in this scenario, or you identify with that energy. They feel like you suppress your truth and that you did as well. They also feel like, for some of you watching, that your position holds the problem, or holds the barrier towards more. I want to just clarify that Fool energy, please. Eight of Swords. With the Four of Wands. And you know what? They do feel like a fool too, for in the past not entering into this unknown with you. They you know, here's the Knight of Swords. And there is this sense too that with the Knight of Cups, that's why they're having such a hard time detaching, because they know that the constant thought towards you is not maybe serving them in a way, but they don't want to give off that tiny glimmer of hope, because if they had that chance again, if this presented to them, if the same scenario presented to them again, or they could do a do-over, they would rush right through. They would tell you their truth. They would speak up. They would create movement. They would rush through that doorway with you. They would detach themselves from any fears. They would bring forth the offer instead of being vulnerable and letting their vulnerability rule the roost. Let's take a look at what do they wish that they could say to you. And I am going to switch the decks for this. What do they wish that they could say to pile number 2? Let's see. What do they wish that they could say to pile number 2, please? The Moon. In this card, you can see 2 wolves howling at that moon. It's like, it's this sense of, I wish that I had been braver. I wish that I had been able to be more vulnerable with you. And here's that King of Wands, fire energy, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. The moon talks about the things that we suppress. They really just wish that they could talk to you, period. Full stop. They wish that they could talk to you. Here's the World. Interesting, because that World card came out in a very similar position in pile number 1 as well. They want to tell you that they wish that they had shown you that their hand of cards. They wish that they had shown their interest more clearly. And even that King of Wands is in the same spot as he was in your first spread. So there's this sense of insecurity. It's like, I'm right where you left me. And I want to let you know that I'm right where you left me. And there's so much that could have been. There's so much scattered potential that could have been discovered or explored if I had just had the courage. They want to say that they still feel jealous over you. But it makes them feel kind of foolish. Again, it makes them feel foolish, but they still feel jealous over you. We have the Seven of Cups, and they don't know how you feel. And so all they have are these fantasies. They don't know what to do with them because all they have are these fantasies of you. They wish that they had communicated with you in the past about how special you were to them, and how unique you were, and how unique this connection was, that you weren't like everybody else, and they're sorry if they gave you that impression. Three of Pentacles. Because if they had been braver, if they had been more honest, if they had been more direct, they would have, if you weren't in a relationship, they would have had a relationship with you, and they feel like it could have gone all the way to the top. If you were in a relationship, they think that it could have ended in commitment. And now, well, we've got a lot going on here. We have the Judgment, the Two of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Sunshine. But it's like now the Sunshine is blocked out. This Queen of Swords has very clear boundaries. And perhaps her position does not hold a place for me anymore. And so there's this energy of my sun being blocked out. And this Two of Wands representing how they felt the very beginning in the past of this connection, this desire for more, this desire to make a plan. But it feels like, even with this Two of Wands, it looks like a chessboard. And there's a lot of that here because this is the Alice in Wonderland Tarot. But it feels like a checkerboard. It feels like it was a game. It's like I thought I had more time. And I didn't take it seriously enough. And now they do. Of course they think about you. And they wish that they could tell you that I think about you all the time. And I wish that it's like they want to come back from the dead. It's like I want to be reborn. I want a new beginning. I want to do a do-over. They don't think it's possible for movement at this time, I feel. It's like they don't know what to do. They don't know what plan to make towards you. But they wish that they had a do-over. And that do-over would include them being braver. And maybe not even braver, but just going for it anyway. Doing it afraid. Shooting their shot. I keep hearing shooting their shot. Here is the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. They wish that they could, and look at, even with this King of Cups, he's not showing his hand of cards, literally. And the King of Cups is love. But it's like, I wish I could tell you how much I love you. I wish I could tell you how much I want to drive towards you, but I can't because perhaps of your position. And I don't want to create havoc in your life. And I don't even know if you feel the same way. Maybe you've put me back, like you can see this rabbit up on the shelf. It's like maybe you've put me up on that shelf and you're not interested anymore. Maybe I'm just a distant dream. Maybe you don't think about me at all. Maybe I'm just one of several people that feel this way about you. So their insecurity still runs rampant. There's the Nine of Swords showcasing that. And the Nine of Swords isn't just, oh, well, I think about them occasionally. This is like, I dream about you. I'm losing sleep over this. It's causing a problem for me. And I want you to know that it's causing a problem for me because I have so much that I suppressed and that has festered. It's like when something needs to be released, it's kind of, and I know it's kind of a gross imagery, but this is what Spirit's showing me. It's that it's like when you know that you have some sort of infection and you know it needs to be let out. If we don't release it, it's going to fester and grow and grow and grow, and that's become a problem for them. This Emperor, or the Temperance. Now it requires healing for this person, which is why they're sort of in that state of despair with the Ten of Swords, saying, I need help. I need to be relieved from this situation, because this is a lot for them to bear. What do they wish they could say to you right this moment? How to... I watch you. I can't help it. There may be connections to school with this person as well. You may have went to school with them. Oh, I know that I hurt you. I can't feel your love anymore. And you know, this is the King of Cups. That's the Queen of Cups. Can't feel your love anymore. We also saw the Queen of Swords. They're not sure if you're in love the way that they are. They're not sure. They're very insecure about that. We have Let's Just Do It, the Fool. They feel like a fool for not just leaping. And they wish that they could leap again with you. I'm afraid to look bad. I'm afraid to tell you how I feel because I don't want to be rejected and I don't want it to be one-sided. Back of the deck says, I can't see past my own fears. The Eight of Swords. I can't see past my own insecurities. I can't see past my own limitations, which is why they feel like they need to just heal and release completely instead of doing the shadow work that's necessary here. How do they feel? What they wish that they could say? The Runner. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy and listening to ego. And they wish that they could explain to you why things happened the way that they did in the past. They really worry about what your opinion is of their actions or their lack of actions in the past here. We do have paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. And that's the dream. That's what they feel like you could have built together, is a joyful life. And the separation is very difficult. They're missing you within it. They're unsure of the future, and they do yearn for this connection. I wish that they could tell pile and return things. I'm trying to figure myself out. And I feel like you have had a very, whether you realize it or not, you have had a very profound influence on this person and their experience. I fancy everything about you. The separation is very painful. I have so much to tell you. So much time has gone by. They feel like so much time has gone by. They have so much to express. It says, I'm making plans, but I need time. And I look for you wherever I go. Back of the deck says, I know that I messed up. I know that I messed up. And now they just keep reeling in that evidence or in that truth. What do they wish that they could say to pile number 2, please? Act as if your partner is here, whether you have someone in your life or not. Act as if they are with you so that you always consider them. And that's sort of, it kind of makes me sad to read that card, to be honest, because I feel like that's what this person does sometimes. I feel like they have conversations with you, whether in their mind or even out loud when they're alone. I think that they have full-blown conversations with you. I think that sometimes they, to alleviate some of this, they try to work through some of their thought processes, some of their feelings with you, in a practical sense, by talking to you, with you not being around, trying to kind of navigate their feelings. We have express your love through gifts. A small token of love can convey great appreciation. And I don't know in the past if they did give gifts to you. They wish that they could now. They wish, and especially with Christmas and things coming up, they think about gifting you something. They think about just surprising you with something just so that you know that they are still thinking about you. I don't know that they would do it because they're afraid of your position. They're afraid of creating havoc. And they are in this state of secrecy here and sort of a guarded energy. But they do think about that. Back of the deck says, get to know each other, learn to meet each other's need for love. And they know that there's been a lot of expansion for you. They know that you've evolved and grown, and they want to know who you've grown into. They feel sad that they don't know who that is. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 2. The future of this connection for pile 2 in the bowl. What does the future hold in this connection? We have the King of Swords, we have the King of Wands, and we have the World reversed. Now we have 2 kings here in the bowl, which can represent the 2 people involved. It doesn't have to. We have air energy. We have fire energy too. There is this passion that this person feels, but they're also sort of grappling with logic too. And in the future of this connection, we do see the World reversed, which does showcase a little bit of unfinished business or delays that may continue on in the future. In the bowl today, we have the letter A and Q and M. We also have the letter S. We have a hatchet, somebody that needs to detach themselves from the situation, from the pain, from a physical situation. We have a bicycle, which is a chariot charm for me, but there's no rider on it. I think of youth and decisions that we make when we're young, and I think about not making a decision in time. We also have here the little blue moon, again, secrecy, holding my feelings inside. We have a fawn in the bowl. I think of childhood. Again, there could be a school connection or a childhood connection. There could also be children now involved in your situation. We also have here a music note, and we have a screwdriver. The screwdriver is a symbol of putting effort in and our responsibilities. The music note, you could have very strong connections to music with this person that bring you guys back to a time and place or connect you in a very sort of intrinsic way. You may connect with each other through music in some way. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it does, I would love to hear your story in the comment section below. And I would love for you to subscribe to this channel if you're not already a subscriber. If you do drop me a comment, be sure to leave me or hit your notification bell so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. And the notification system is really important because that's how I notify the winner of the reading. I can also offer an opportunity to win a free mini read over on Instagram on a monthly basis, and I offer private readings through my Etsy account, and that is listed below. But I hope that you come back here for another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a great day. Take care. Hello everybody. In pile number 3, you were drawn to this beautiful big poppy. I don't even know where to put it, it's so big. Or to the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, do they think about you too, or is it one-sided? And what do they wish that they could say to you? Do they think about you too is where we're going to start, and then we're going to switch decks and look at their messages for you, and then we're going to end with a charm cast today. So let's start with, do they think about you as well? Do they think about pile number 3, please? Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card of curiosity, of what could be. There's the Judgment. Already 2 cards out of the deck for you, pile 3, and the Judgment card is talking about reflections. So this is not a one-sided situation, and this person definitely reflects upon you and upon what could have been, because I feel like there was a shortage of actual practical steps towards you. King of Swords. King of Swords could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius that we may be dealing with. They claim to have gained a lot of epiphanies about this situation. So not only do they think about you, but it's been a process. Like they've processed through a lot with that Judgment, because it's a call to reflect upon everything we've done wrong or done right. And it longs for new beginnings. And here's the World. This person seems to have spent quite a bit of time processing their thoughts about you and their feelings for you, because it's like they're preparing themselves for some sort of admission, or they're preparing themselves to speak up about something, because they do feel like there's things that should have been done, should have been said. But they may have allowed their insecurity stop them from putting in the work. And I feel like they made plans to sort of execute that plan towards you. Like I feel like there was a lot of intent to action, but intentions don't equate to movement sometimes. And instead of allowing the momentum to push them past the insecurity, I feel like the insecurity grabbed hold of them and really took on a life of itself. And that's what they've reflected upon all of this time. And it could be a long period of time too that you have been in disconnect from this person, for some of you watching, because I'm just seeing all of these years stacked up the tree that I've had time to reflect, that I've had time to ascend and gain this awareness. So yes, they think about you for sure. Here's the Queen of Swords. And if that's interesting, because we had the King and Queen of Swords in a previous pile, as well as the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine here. In this case, you can see that they're on different levels. And there's almost this thought process of like, we were both ready at different times. It's like when they were ready, you were not. When you were ready, they were not. Like 2 ships passing in the night. We have the Eight of Wands. You may live pretty far from this person, because they think about travel, and they think about, some of them think about air travel towards you. Oh. We have the moon. It's in the reverse position. I do feel like this person's thought process and the reflection of you doesn't even maintain in the waking realm. I think that they dream about you sometimes. And they don't know, they try to even, that spurs the thought of you sometimes too, because you enter into the dream realm and then they try to figure that out in the morning. It's like, well, why was I dreaming about that person last night? What does it mean? And they're a logical person too. I don't think that they necessarily are someone who would delve into the emotional reasons behind it or spiritual reasons, because they seem more logical and practical than that. But they try to decipher it. They try to wrap their heads around it in a logical way. I just saw the Empress, and I saw the King of Cups too. What are their thoughts of you, pile 3? The Temperance. Their process, as I said, their process of reflection has lasted a long enough time that a lot of truths have already been revealed to them. And they still, honestly, there is still a component here of wanting to physically be with you. Because I feel like there was boundaries maybe set here, or maybe maybe you walked away before they got the chance to execute their plan because they did take too long with their insecurities. They do worry about the timing as well, taking too long. But I feel like they physically wish to explore with you. We have the Ten of Wands. We also have the Hierophant. Back of the deck is the Page of Swords, and we have the Six of Wands. Now, because I'm dealing with collective energy, I have many energies floating around here. But there's multiple messages coming in for multiple people, because for some of you, this person says that they are married, and that those responsibilities keep them sort of stagnant from being able to create change through all of these reflections that they've made, because the reflection is supposed to create new beginnings, like I said, but in this case, they have to maintain a watcher position. They have to maintain on the outside and act victorious, even though there's a certain sense of boredom that they're experiencing right this moment in their life. They're not exactly enthused or feeling grateful for the things that are going on in their life right now, and they do feel like they have to wear masks. For others, this person is saying that, we grew up together. We were kids together. We went to school together as well. And they think about that. And they also think about the process of evolution and how much you've grown and how much they've changed and how you don't know who they are anymore, and vice versa. And that's something that they wish that they could shift and change. But I definitely feel a sense of strong responsibility for someone watching, like either you're in a relationship, maybe it's both-sided, but there could be an actual physical marriage in place now that could complicate any future movement. But let's take a look at, what do they wish they could say to you right this moment? What do they wish that they could say? What does pile 3 wish that they could say to the Hierophant? The Five of Pentacles. There's already this sense of them recognizing through the reflection that they've done and the thoughts that have been about you for a long time. It doesn't feel obsessive. It feels almost like educational, and I know that sounds weird, but it's like they're trying to evolve. They're trying to understand things because they feel very cerebral. This person feels very intelligent. But they recognize throughout this process, they wish that they could tell you that they know that they did this to themselves. You have the Ace of Pentacles. They know that they are responsible for the way that things are because of the lack of action in the past here. We have the Four of Wands. They also wish that they could tell you that, Three of Pentacles, that if there were no obstacles in the way, that they would want to try again. It's like if they had no other responsibilities, and I don't think that that's the case, unfortunately. I feel like they have a lot of responsibilities, but if they didn't have any responsibilities, that they would try again in a heartbeat. There is very strong Taurus energy here. So take that as it resonates if you know this person's sign. The Four of Wands is talking about twin flame energy. I also get marriage through this card as well. So they wish that they could tell you that although they are attached, it feels like a more of a karmic connection than it does emotionally based. We have the Knight of Cups. They wish that they had been more, they want to tell you that they're sorry for not coming towards you with all the you know, bells and whistles. They wish, and they feel like there was a lot of flirtation that happened between the two of you too, and they wish that they had just put their money where their mouth is instead of letting themselves be vulnerable. Because now they're kicking themselves. We have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, they're kicking themselves for keeping themselves at bay, for not seeing the opportunity in time, even though it's like their guides and their angels were like flying around them in these swirls. You can see the crows trying to detach all of the tethers from the reflection, like, and that's what's happened throughout this process of time. Their guides and angels have been helping them through this process of reflection over you. Here's the Ten of Swords, though. That sense of trying to heal, trying to create new hope for themselves. What do they wish that they could say? The King of Cups. If you are the Divine Feminine, the Divine Masculine is coming up over the top, saying that even though we're not together, even though we don't see each other, you can see his eyes are closed, that I dream of you. And I think about you, and I'm still healing. It's like I'm still healing from the loss, and I let you slip through my fingers. Something that had a lot of value. And I do keep tabs on you, and I do watch you with the Page of Swords. There's also, again, a very sort of educational connection. This person could be a teacher now. So take that as it resonates. But for someone, this person might be a teacher now. The student has become the teacher. That's what I just heard. The student has become the teacher. We have the Judgment card. They wish that they could tell you how much they think about you. And they wish that they didn't leave you in the dark too about their feelings now. Like they wish that they could come forward right this moment, but they do feel like there are obstacles in the way of that. We have the Six of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the Ace of Wands with the World. They want to tell you, and they wish that they could say how much they fantasize about you. And that they do think about communicating with you even though there is a foundation in place. They do think about reaching out to you in a very real way, even though there is something that perhaps you or them, perhaps both of you are involved in, because they want, there's the Queen of Swords. They want closure, and they call it closure. And I say this a lot on my channel. It's not really closure. It's just riling everything up, but they want, there's unfinished business here, but they're afraid of how you feel. They're afraid of your opinion of the situation, and they are afraid of you rejecting them. And I think that that is a fear that they have had for a long time. I'm weighing out my options. They have a lot of responsibilities. Like I said, I feel like there could be a physical marriage here. You've taught me so much. And that's the Three of Pentacles. And I think that we sort of minimize the effect that we have on other people and their experiences. We are powerful beings. You're a powerful being, and you had a profound effect on this person, even in the disconnect, even if it's been years. The experiences that they had with you taught them many lessons on acting with intent towards something that we want. I miss you. Do you miss me? Do I know you from somewhere? And I feel like they do sort of pretend like they aren't bothered. I feel like they don't talk about you. If they are in a family unit, I feel like they keep it to themselves, which must be a very heavy burden to bear. Will I get what I want? The Three of Wands, wanting expansion, but we started with the Three of Wands earlier, as you will recall. I just switched my braces, so I'm having a hard time pronouncing some words. They started with the Three of Wands. That's where we began way back in the day, was this want, this desire, but it fell short of a plan. And that's what we need to do when we're stuck in situations. We need practical plans towards the goals that we have. They do want a fresh start with you on the back of that deck. What do they wish that they could say? Acts, breakup, separation, stopping the pattern, silent treatment, and abandonment. They wish that they could tell you that they can detach themselves from these tethers now. They want to tell you as well that they have awareness about everything. It doesn't necessarily shift the energies currently, but they have gained that awareness. And they are tired of the separation. But they also kind of want to stop the pattern of a thought. Like they're hoping to expand. I don't think they want to live in this discomfort for forever. We have boat here, receiving what you want, progressing, arriving, moving on, and closure issues. And that's why the Ace of Wands is here with the World. They have closure issues. There is unfinished business here. We have runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, and listening to ego. And that's what they want to tell you, is that they understand that this is what caused the problem, and they were at the root cause of that. And there is sort of this apology that they sort of want to bring forth as well. Ooh. Physical touch. A tender touch can mean so much. And we have be in the present and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. And that's what they wish that they could tell you, is that they're still fantasizing about that reunion. It is easier to fantasize than to actually apply the effort towards the reunion, because they are worried about your position, rejection, about what the consequences will be of them wielding that communication towards you. But they do dream about it. And part of that fantasy is about, and it sounds almost sad, it's like physically touching you. It's like, I just want to hold your hand. I just want to reach out and grab you. I want to wield this expansion that I was hoping to wield towards you in the past right now. Back of the deck says, actions speak loudly. Express your love through actions. And they wish that they could do that. They wish that they could physically reach out and touch you. They know they've left you in the dark. And I think out of everything, that bothers them more than their own emotional devastation that they experience within the disconnect. Let's get some little message cards. I'm going to use, where is it? What's up here? What do they wish that they could say to pile number 3, please? What do they wish that they can say? I want to start over. I want a do-over in life. It feels like a do-over in life in general. That's what we all sort of dream about, isn't it? It's like, what would you do if you woke up today and you were 16 again? What would you do if you could do it all over again? Would you make the same choices? I want adventure with you. I'm coming. And I think that that's what they fantasize as well about, is just that if they're in a state of boredom in their current situation, if they're not 100% feeling excitement there and passion there, they dream about you being the source of that. You do have patience and mirrored soul paths. So you may find yourself in a similar situation to this person as far as family. Maybe if there is a marriage involved, you may yourself be committed in some way. We have 1111, the angels are singing. Twin flame connection. So lots of synchronicities, perhaps repeating numbers. They see that and they attach that meaning to you. Even if it's, they attach all of those sorts of synchronicities to you. No matter what it is, if it's repeating numbers, if it's your name, if it's like even just your name, even if it's a common name that everybody has, every time they hear that name, it's like they think it's a sign from the universe. Will we be waiting forever? Well, we have, will we talk, or we will talk soon. And they do think about communicating with you. I should say that for you, pile 3. So they do think about that. But there is obstacles in the way of that expansion. I'm pushing my feelings aside, pretending. Back of the deck says, I can't decide what to do or how to make shifts and changes here. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 3. What is the future of this connection in the bowl for pile number 3? What does the future hold here? Queen of Wands reversed, Ace of Swords reversed, and the Death card reversed. So we have some reversals in the bowl here, which shows us that we're sort of stuck in a bit of a stagnancy, which may continue into the future. The Queen of Wands is in the reverse position. If you are the Divine Feminine watching this, it's like you're not feeling prepared. Perhaps you're, again, mirrored soul paths. You may not feel prepared for any type of movement in this situation. And even with the Death reverse, it's like some hope being a little bit waning in the situation for you, for this person as well. So we do see a little bit of a stagnancy. The Ace of Swords is reversed as well, which is talking about fear of making poor choices or poor judgment when executing change. But the Death is talking about the need and the desire for shifts and rebirth. But we do see a stagnancy, unfortunately, moving forward. Because someone or both of you are not ready or not feeling ready. In the bowl today, we have the letter L, we have is, we have divine and some. We have an anchor, somebody who feels anchored to the past, anchored to the present as well. We have the owl, which is a symbol of the King of Swords, or the Queen of Swords for me, and we've had the King of Swords actually in all three piles today. So very strong air element here today. And the owl is also a reflection of looking at things from a higher perspective. So it goes right back to that thought question that they think about you quite often. We have a commandment from the Bible that says, "Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain." So there could be someone who curses a lot or swears a lot. We also have the saxophone and the guitar pick, so there could be a musical connection too. Again, the synchronicities with the 1111, there could be musical synchronicities as well. And we do have the lipstick, which is the symbol of I don't want to say seduction. It's not really a symbol of seduction for me, but attraction. All right, group number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonated with you. If it did, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel and hit your notification bell and drop me a comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. I also offer a chance to win a free mini read over on Instagram on a monthly basis, and I will be actually posting about that this weekend. I also offer private readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below. But I hope that you come back here for another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a very beautiful day. Take care.